Hello friends, let's have some fun learning about when the people rebel or can say revolt 1857. In last session we discussed about political causes of revolt 1857. In this session you will get information about the economic factor you can see peasants and the sepoys factors. Okay. The harsh land revenue policies introduced by the East India Company aimed at extracting the maximum land revenue. This left the peasants miserable. The new jamidars and moneylenders were cruel and exploitative. Even the government offered no relief to the peasants. Because of these factors, famine began to occur with increasing regularity, leaving death and devastation behind. Peasants and Jamidar resented the company's high-tech and rigid method of revenue collection. Indian sepoy in the company's army were unhappy about their pay, allowance, and condition of work. In 1856, the company passed a new law which stated that every new person who took up employment in company's army had to agree to serve overseas if required. Such policies violated the religious and traditional sentiments of the sepoy. Early in winter, British never tried to become a part of Indian society. They remained foreigners. Setting themselves apart from the local Indians were not permitted in the higher rank of the administrative and the army. Apart from the racial discrimination, people left threatened by the social reforms introduced by the British. British policies like the abolition of sati, introduction of Western education, and support for widow remarriage were looked upon with deep suspicion by the orthodox section of Indian society. And although some these reforms introduced by British, as I've already told you, essential and the general response to the change the British brought about the Indian society was not very positive. The new law was passed in 1850 to make conversion to Christianity easier. Although many Indians want to change their unhealthy social practice, they also felt that the British were harming and destroying their religion and social custom and heritage. Many Indians came to believe that the British intended to convert them Christianity forcibly. This was a part due to enthusiastic missionary activities of the British. There was a fear that the various social reforms started in the period were meant to rob the locals of their religion. Western education deprived the Muslim Maulvis and Hindu Pandits of their traditional roles. For the first time, taxes were imposed on land where mosques and temples stood, adding to the general appearances of the people. A mutiny became a popular rebellion. Over time, different Indians from all walks of life began to view the British as their common enemy. They became unity to rise against the British, and in May 1857, a massive rebellion started that threatened the company of very presence in India. Immediate cause. Most historians believe that the issue of Enfield rifle was the immediate cause of the revolt. The discontent against the British had grown so much that this was enough to spark off the uprising. In 1856, Sepoy were issued a new gun, the Enfield rifle. In order to load the rifle, the soldier had to bite the cartridge, which was covered in a grease coated paper to make it waterproof. It was widely believed that the grease contained tallow and fat of animal which were taboo for both Hindus and Muslims. So British officers dismissed the anti-story as baseless. The story spread like wildfire among the spies. On 29 March 1857, Mangal Pandey, a soldier of 34 Bengal Infantry, refused to use Enfield cartridge and opened fire on his superior officer. He was arrested and executed. This incident showed that the Sepai were even prepared to face death to safeguard their religion. Following Mangal Pandey execution, 85 soldiers of the 3rd Bengal Light Cavalry Regiment, which was stationed at Meerut, also refused to touch the cartridge. They were sentenced to 10-year imprisonment on 9th May 1857. Angered by this, the other soldiers of regiment stormed the prisons and feared their colleagues. They attacked and killed a number of European officers, men, women. The soldiers then marched toward Delhi, which was Mughal capital and symbolic of Indian power. The Mughal emperor also got support from the ruler and chiefs of the country, and together they rose against British power. People were convinced that the Mughal would make better ruler than the British. After the British were routed from Delhi, there was no uprising for some days. Then a spread of mutinies began. The regiment after regiment mutinied and took off to join other troops at nodal points like Delhi, Kanpur, and Lucknow. The rebel reached Red Fort in Delhi on 11th May. Bahadur Shah Zafar, the last Mughal ruler, was forced by the rebels to proclaim himself as Emperor of India. The rebels proceeded to kill hundreds of British men and women, and including several officers. They captured the public offices. The real command was in the hand of General Bakht Khan, who headed the revolt at Bareilly and brought his troops to Delhi. News of the event at Meerut and Delhi was slow to reach the authorities at Calcutta. After them, the people of the towns and villages also rose up the rebellion and railed around the local leaders, jamidars, and chiefs, who also were desperate to establish their authority and fight the British. Nana Sahib, the adopted son of late Peshwa Bajirao, gathered armed force and expelled the British garrison from his city, and he declared there was a governor under authority from the Emperor of India, Bahadur Shah Zafar. Thank you. I hope you enjoy my video. In next session, we will talk about the results of this report.